Book fans, just read a book by Richard Herring, Can I Have My Ball Back? Now this one's all about testicular cancer and his experience with it. So it's a little bit different than his previous genitalia book, which was Talking Cock, which is all about penises and from a comedy kind of perspective. But this one is has a little bit of elements of that, but this is more about the experience of being diagnosed with a problem with your testicles, testicular cancer, and exactly what you go through as a result of that. So it is funny in parts, as Dicky Herring tells you, it's one of the most survivable cancers there are out there, with I think he says a 90% survival rate. So he jokes about it a lot as well, saying how it's like he doesn't really have cancer. So yeah, it's a very interesting perspective, and I suppose it's a very interesting male perspective with regards to cancer, because I think the take-home message really is check your testicles, because it is a survivable cancer. Therefore, if you check them, if it gets found out early enough, it can be treated, and it's all hunky-dory. But this is Richard Herring's testicular journey, and he doesn't exactly do what he tells you that you should be doing, and what we all know that we should be doing as males with testicles. It's also a very interesting read as well. It's one of his better written books and very engaging, not just for the testicular cancer part, more as it's quite an interesting kind of the way he's written it out is chronologic. So he talks about the initial phases, so he gives you a bit of a chatty bit, followed by some facts at the end, facts related to the chapter. So you'll find out a lot about testicles and testicular cancer. So here's the facts there. They're in a little box to highlight them and tell you why they're different. Maybe I'll read you a fact in here which you may or may not be aware of. Sorry, Dicky Herring, I'm ruining it for you. Polyarchism. This one is super rare, with only around 200 cases having been reported. Polyarchidism is a condition where someone is born with more than 2 testicles. Sometimes the third one is in the scrotum, sometimes in the abdomen. So it gives you an idea of different elements to testicles, and it's also obviously got some comedy in there as well. It's quite funny at parts, and you can laugh because it might be a bit of a spoiler this, but if you Google him, Richard Herring is hopefully still alive when this video is released. It's quite an easy reader as well. We go through it, it's nicely written. We've got funny things like Mum's gone to Iceland, and actually ram's testicle are commonly eaten as part of a Þorrablót, a winter festival in Iceland. There you go. Testicle related facts, but it's 280 odd pages? Yep. So a very quick read, well worth getting out in your library, especially if someone has only just brought it back. That's a bookmark, by the way. I'm not trying to advertise Catkin there, because obviously they don't pay me. But this is a very good read. How much do I rate it as a read? I think it's one of his better books, because it doesn't drag it out too long. It's just succinct enough to cover the subject matter of testicles, testicular cancer, and testicles in society, and all the kind of cultural elements to it, which you'd be quite surprised. There's a lot more about testicles than anyone ever knew, because I suppose there's going to be, isn't there? All these niche subjects that he's found out about. Great read. I'd say it's probably between, I'm not sure whether 3.5 or 4 out of 5. Well, it's Christmas, so let's bump it up to 4 out of 5 with regards to reading experiences. Recommended to all males and people who are fans of comedy, but I wouldn't buy it as a comedy book. I'd buy it as a testicles book, because that is the main factor in what you're going to gain from it, from reading it. It's a similar to the Talking Cock, which is all about penises. You learn more about penises than you will laugh at it, but that's possibly a funnier book, I think, than this. But the funny bits in this are very funny, and you will get strange looks at laughing at testicular cancer by your partner, of course, and they will think you are sick. So bear that in mind. That is a danger factor with the book. Anyway, if this has been useful, you know what to do. Give me a comment on what you think about Richard Herring and Richard Herring's testicle books, and about testicles in general. Maybe I can answer your testicle questions now. Probably not, because you know, who knows how much of this knowledge I have retained. But thank you for watching, and have a great Christmas. This would make a good present, by the way, to your husband. Make him check his testicles, or your boyfriend, or your any other male friends, or anybody who's into testicles. They don't have to be male. They can be female. They can be any gender out there whatsoever. It's all good, because this is a good read. Thank you very much.